The Boys Season 4 finale, Episode 8. Couple huge moments, a couple shockers, and plenty of bloodshed to go around. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, Brent here back with Geek Variants. Cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, The Boys Season 4 finale. Without further ado, let's get right into the meat and potatoes of this meal. Will, your thoughts on this episode as a finale for Season 4?
This episode was absolutely insane because of all the setups and everything that's going with it. And we start off with this thing. Homelander is absolutely losing it. Like, he is mad and he's not happy about it because things are not going how we need to go. We're starting off with January 6th. Let's go ahead. Big spoiler warning. We don't condone violence of any sort either. We don't care for that stuff. They made sure they put a message out there for the viewers and stuff like that. Hey, we're not about that stuff. So keep all that nonsense at home. All right. But they referenced January 6th and everything that went down with January 6th. So it was funny to see them trying to set up the vote. What's going to happen? Are Newman and them going to make it? Are they going to be locked in? So, yeah, I did not expect all that stuff to kind of go to that point that quickly. And it's like, yeah, these are going to be our new president, vice president. They're in there. And Homelander just absolutely insane with and incensed over the picture he found with Ryan, made him forego all the other planning that Sage had put into place and was just like, yeah, I'm gonna burn down my house. And Newman, she's a superhero. Look, zap. I did not see that. That threw me for a freaking loop. I was not ready for him to zap her corneas out just to prove a point on live television. So
But
I don't
like
know.
with Homelander, always expect the unexpectable. And the fact that he was just able to out Newman in that form and fashion was definitely spoke volumes about what his big plan was. Because like after that, we circled right back onto the tower. We had him literally have a list of individuals. He was like, all right, 7, time to go to work. And it was literally Soups versus all, and things continued to spiral further and further. We had their assistant of above all assistants, Ashley, literally run off and take some V. We don't know what power she's going to have. We don't know how it's going to affect her. All we saw is that she had a freak out. She lost all her hair. And then that her other assistant, Ashley, will not be with us for next season because, well, Noir all of a sudden has a very big excitement pertaining to violence. So him, Deep, and Homelander all on the same page as far as their universe and their fantasy violence is concerned. They are ready to push all pieces into play. How did you feel about that whole crazy scene pushing Starlight? Because like she was a pivotal piece moving forward, a lot of deep reflection for her character in this episode.
I mean, Starlight need to get together because we see the 7 is on 1. So Starlight need to get herself together. And she's like, I got to get out of here, especially after everything that was said to her. Talking about reading her mind, showing off that freaking Huey had proposed and we're getting married and all stuff like that drove her to the brink. Then she ripped her skin off her wrist to get her hands out to go hunt the shifter down. And the fact is that Huey finally came to the realization after one of her different little quirks that he knows about her. He sees one of them go awry, even though he's had several. He sees one of them go awry and then gets a realization that that's the shifter. And the shifter realizes that, I'm the shifter. And then pandemonium breaks loose. And now shifter's just trying to take out everybody in the room, hanging people on walls and going about their business with golf clubs. But eventually Annie shows up, the real Annie shows up to handle freaking business. And it was absolutely great just seeing her back in action and getting the work done, even without her powers, her light up powers are still not there, but she's back in full form. And we think that was what, did it for her. That kind of got her back into the saddle and ready to go. And even though she was mad at Huey, which she had all rights to be, so at that, they were able to reconcile after the fact. So that was a good thing, seeing that kind of character arc for her and kind of come back around. What
And then
else?
talking with reconciliation, we had our big moment after that where we kind of covered everything involving Kimiko. Her and Frenchie finally powered through one of the biggest moments we've all been rooting for like what, 3 maybe 4 seasons, ever since we've been introduced to Kimiko. We felt that they were eventually going to like get together when the time was right. This time apparently was right, and they're two flawed individuals who have a deep past that they absolutely abhor, and they're trying to make the positive changes in their life to like get things better in this terrible fantasy universe. And they finally have their moment where Kimiko's like, I wanted you to be someone better than me, and Frenchie's like, there has never been anyone better than you. And then she finally kisses him, they get their moment, everyone's happy, everyone's super copacetic. And then Newman arrives, and I kind of want you to take it away from there with all the
Newman
topic.
arrived with some bull. So after everything that happened, and we know all the data on Newman was gone, she's been out of the superhero. So she's not just trying to protect her family, so to speak. And she's like, she knows what happened with Samir. She needs to get her daughter out because Homelander has straight up threatened her and her daughter and says, I will send you pieces of her to make sure that you do exactly what you're supposed to do. And she's like, I gotta get out of here. So she calls Huey, she makes a deal. It's like, yo, get me out of here, and we're all good. So that whole deal gets set up, everybody's good to go. And lo and behold, so it does not go according to plan because we've got so much animosity between, you know, in other families, i.e., Homelander and Ryan, because their situation. Ryan and Butcher are trying to have a talk, so that and trying to get everything together. Ryan eventually realized like you just want me to be a weapon and takes out freaking his auntie and was just like, yo, you won't let me go, push you out the way, break your neck, so she's gone, and I can go on about business because I need to think. Family reunions ain't the greatest right now, but Butcher shows back up and it's just like, yo, we're not gonna have this deal go down. I don't care what deal you made with Newman, she can't be trusted. We gotta take care of this. And then proceeds to do exactly what I knew he was gonna do. He uses powers and he's got some symbiote like powers. Absolutely insane. He's got tentacles coming out of his chest. And before Newman can even think, because she has to look at who she's head popping, before she could even do it, he smacked the daughter away, wrapped her up, covered her face so she couldn't see anything, and proceeded to tear her a new one. It was absolutely fantastic. We get people drenched in blood as usual, and it just set the stage for Butcher being back in action, fully healed and feeling better as far as we know, because it looks like he's finally succumbed to everything that's been going on with Kessler. And
They seem like they're on the same page, symbiote and host, and that is for the absolute worst because, like they were talking about, he was in a moment where Frenchie had the virus point blank in the chest. The trigger couldn't be pulled, and now that particular weapon is out there inside of Butcher's hands as he's going on a nice leisurely drive down the road to who knows what. And as everything continues to spiral out further and further into the picture, we have one of the more interesting turns that I think the show had done. We kind of circle back to Homelander, who is having an absolute meltdown because all of his dreams, all his thoughts, all his plans, everything is basically falling apart. And sure, while he's running the tower, who's running the world? Who's making sure his plans are going into place? Where's Ryan in all this? Sister Sage, of all people, comes out and hits him with the sage wisdom of, you did exactly what I wanted you to do from jump. I only could trust you with bits of my plan because you're you. However, here's the position you want to be in. The new president, because, old
Speaker of the
cowboy
House.
just got removed because he got implicit or got at least found verbally guilty of being part of the co-conspiracy for Newman, that now the new president answers to one man and one man only, the most dangerous man in the VOT universe, Homelander. You want to talk about Homelander and Sister Sage's initial launch of Phase 2 and the big cameo we got at the end?
Basically, Homelander is put in charge of martial law, and he is the leading, authority on all the superheroes that are deputized underneath the president of the United States. So they are now running the country with their puppet. And because this is everything Sage one for, she go ahead and said, I'm going to start my phase 2, which we don't know what phase 2 is, but it's about to go down and it's about to be big. But we know that certain secrets are afforded to the president once you become president. And one of the biggest secrets was that we still had Soldier Boy under wraps in a chamber underground, sedated, ready to go. And Homelander was the first person to get the call. I have something for you. And this is where we end. Like, this is about to get nuts next season.
And
This is
then
where we're about to get nuts as far as Homelander's story is concerned. But that's not the final part of it as far as, you know, stuff being in motion. Because we still got the Gen Vers, Kate and Sam, as they're starting to round up they're already starting to round up superheroes. So that not even just superheroes, but they're rounding up the boys specifically first. Frenchie gets taken in by Kate, Sam snatches up Kimiko, like that. Some of the biggest ones. What's her name? Oh, magnetism.
she
What's that
scared the
Kate?
crap out of
Yeah.
Starlight. Starlight took off like a bat out of chaos. And like, hey, good for her. She got out of Dodge. I still feel bad for Mother's Milk though. Like,
Oh,
why does this man and Mother's Milk continually have beef?
yeah.
Because if there's anyone I want to get taken out by, please just put me out of life. Don't
Yeah.
make me suffer through this
Love,
twice.
Love Sausage got his sausage on him, and Cindy was going after Starlight. Starlight was the one who got away. Everybody else got taken, and Huey was like, "Yo, go, get out of here." And Starlight, because she had her whole come around and stuff like that, powers kicked back in. She's good to go, and she was able to fly off. So we've got Butcher out there on the road, traveling to who knows where. You got Starlight up in the air, traveling to who knows where, and we got the boys going to get locked up to who knows where while waiting to find out where the Gen Vers are because they're who knows where. It's a whole bunch of I don't know right now.
A
Like
lot of great stuff to theorize on, to speculate on, and I'm sure you'll have a whole theory board here in the coming weeks for the folks at home. Gen V is where we're going to pick up. Season 2 has been confirmed. They are acting on it now on set. They're getting everything filmed. Realistically, even with production, I would anticipate 2026 at the earliest, 2025 if we're absolutely lucky and blessed beyond belief. At the same time, Prime Video, The Boys was phenomenal. I salute you. Thank you for another amazing season. Thank you to all those who've been watching along with our live streams. A lot of great stuff to speculate on pertaining to next season. Is there anything else you wanted to cover in this episode?
I'm good. I'm just waiting patiently, and I'm gonna start brainstorming. I got to get on my Sister Sage abilities and start planning this stuff out.
And as you need to plan stuff out, be sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button. Remember, we have a 1,000 subscriber giveaway coming up for a few lucky winners. More details will emerge on that once we hit our mark. Thanks again to you viewers who've made our live streams and everything else an absolutely amazing time to be with. We'll see you next time for My Hero Academia's live stream Saturday morning. See you then.